I'm going to be honest. I don't know if she's just acting to kind of, put a video together to kind of prove a point or what. I hope she is. I hope she's not in a bad relationship. But I know that when it comes to relationships, marriages, and everything else like that within the United States, and I'm just going to talk about the United States for this, that a lot of women are trapped in a relationship. Either they got with somebody they were with since high school and they just couldn't leave when it turned sour. They had children with somebody and now they feel obligated to stay, or they're afraid of the person so they can't leave. If you're watching this and you're in any of those situations, you need to go. I'm telling you that now. You need to get out of that situation. Just leave. Find your support group. If you don't have one, reach out to somebody and get out of that situation. And do not think that your children are an anchor to keep you there. You have to take care of yourself, ladies. You have to. I have seen far too many women, my mom included, be in crappy relationships. My mom was in a marriage for 17 years. I know that's short by some comparisons. 17 years with somebody that she met when she was underage, had me, stuck with that person even though they were verbally abusive, treated her like garbage, and even until the moment where she got educated and then finally realized she was being verbally abused and manipulated, she stayed with it for a bit longer when she should have got out years ago. And I remember she told me once, my mom told me this, that the thing that hurt her most is as a teen, I asked her, why don't you just go? I didn't understand it at that time. I understand it better now. I get it. But she said it hurt for me to say that. Why don't you just go if it's so bad? Oops, I just knocked everything on the desk. Why don't you just go if it's so bad? And she didn't have an answer at that time. She finally did, though. She finally got it together and went. And I think it was after, as I was getting closer to 18, maybe I was 18, and I told her, you have to take care of yourself. You can't worry about me and my sister anymore. We're old enough to take care of ourselves. You need to get out of this. It's been far too long. But too many women are trapped in a relationship because of the relationship, because of the children, because of, I've spoke on this a few times on here. I think marriage is a sham. It's a benefit to a man at this point. It doesn't help anybody in the relationship really anymore. It's just a way for men to keep women under certain control. You could still be in a loving relationship without a marriage. If you don't think that you can be in a loving relationship because you don't have marriage, you're wrong. Any problems you had before you were married are not going to suddenly disappear when you're married. I've also seen far too many people at this stage in my life that are getting married when they should not be married. I had a friend I'm no longer friends with. He treated his wife like garbage. He's basically a man-child who never grew up. He yelled at her for things he didn't like. People yell at each other. I get that. That's one thing. But when she's not even involved in the problem that he's having and he just starts yelling at her, and I called him on it. We stopped being friends for various other reasons. But it's just, I see too many women like that. I see women so desperate to get married because they think their life is not going to be right if they're not married. Look, women, you don't need to be married. It's not necessary. That day of being married, it's not going to do it. It's going to be one day of bliss. It's really expensive, or it's going to be maybe a day you can afford, or you do the thing you want and that day's memorable. But then that's all you're going to have is that day that was wonderful. And then you're gonna be like, God, why is everything else so awful? Why is everything else so terrible? I don't get it. We got married. It's because the marriage isn't going to fix anything. The problems are still there. Just because they hid for a day, a week, a month, doesn't mean they're not there. And if your partner's not willing to work on it, that should be your other sign to get out. But yeah, just please stop staying in bad relationships. You're better than that. You need to be doing better for yourself. And to that point too, I've seen where women stay in a relationship so long and they're not allowed to grow as a person that when their husband finally dies, they don't know who they are. They don't know themselves. They don't know what to do. They can't pay bills, any of that. I'm not making that up. I lived in an HOA community in townhomes where I saw women that were well into their 60s and 70s that did not know how to function because their husband never let them do anything. And that is awful. And there's women I know now that are in their 30s going through the same thing, that they don't know how to survive. They don't know how to do anything. All they know is taking care of their kids, washing dishes, and maybe going to work. So please help yourselves. Please.